Hey, what's up guys? Today I wanted to make a video on how to start reading in your target language, and how to go about doing it so that it's both fun and motivating. First though, I'd like to say that learning to read in both your native language and target language is a skill, and we all know that when it comes to a skill, it's something you have to develop. Now how do you develop a skill for reading? One of the things I strongly recommend when you're first starting to read in your target language is finding content you are interested in. If you don't have something you're interested in, then your brain won't find the motivation to continue reading. Just like with anything, your mind will start to drift down the easier path, and that is obviously not what we want. Now once you find content you are interested in, you need a game plan. A question we might ask ourselves is, how do I begin to read something, yet I don't know any of the words? One strategy we might devise is simply looking up every unknown grammar form or vocabulary word. Even though this might seem like a straightforward strategy on the surface, anyone who has tried this will tell you quickly that it will not only burn you out, it is simply ineffective in the long term. Why is this? This is explained by something I call the inefficiency problem. The inefficiency problem is basically when you look up a word and then read, then look up the next word, then read, etc., etc. This is a huge problem when fully trying to enjoy your reading, but also when trying to acquire your language consistently. Not only will this tire you out, but you'll rapidly begin losing the meaning of your read, which defeats the whole point of using reading to effectively acquire your target language. Now how do we go about solving this reading problem? I like to use a strategy which is similar to how a lot of language learners watch TV shows. I like to call this the fruit tree strategy. Now, a fruit tree strategy is when you pick words that either seem essential or spark an interest. Now, how does one determine what words are essential and which ones should be of interest? Words that are essential or words that are repeated are used to indicate something crucial within a story. Interesting words are going to be qualitative. And what I mean by this is that it's simply going to be reducible to your feelings, i.e., words that seem cool or stand out rather. This is going to be completely random and up to you. This whole process is akin to picking fruit off a tree. Let me show you what I mean. As I read this story, you can see that I'm looking for words that seem either crucial to the story or stand out personally. Once you do this process consistently, you will start to get faster, and over time, reading in your target language will become as natural as breathing. You will have an intuition for what words need to be looked up and ones that don't. This skill development process does not only apply to language learning, but to other aspects of life. Take video games. In this clip, you see me absolutely wiping a team with Genji. Now, how was I able to do this? I didn't just wake up one day and desire to be a good Genji. It took hours of time, practice, and energy to get to that point. I used fun simulations and practice games in order to fully acquire a sense of a character and his abilities, his strengths, his weaknesses. If you use this principle towards your language learning, you are bound to see results. Finally, how do we prepare to read in our target language? Imagine you lived in a cold and snowy environment, in which temperatures plummeted and the snow was unbearable. If one day you decide to go out of your house into that environment, would you just leave your house in whatever you rolled out of bed in? Of course not. You would prepare to face the cold. You would bundle up in whatever gear that conceals you from the snow and wind. Likewise, you need to effectively prepare for reading. Here are 3 tips I highly recommend to help you kickstart your reading. Tip 1. Get a good night's rest. Sleep is the most important thing you could do to help stabilize your mental health and to also elevate concentration, acquisition, and focus. Sleep is a repair process for your body. If you don't sleep, your mind will not be able to get the most out of your reading. You might not be able to read at all. Tip 2. Eliminate distractions. Distractions are the worst enemy for language learners. They can rob you of your time and your focus. I highly recommend before you start reading, you remove any device that frequently distracts you on a daily basis. Not only will this kickstart your ability to focus, but it will help you get the most out of your time. If you happen to read at your computer, I recommend closing any tabs or apps that are orthogonal to your language learning. This will help you stay focused and not deviate from your current task. Some people like to use Pomodoro groups to help them stay focused. I will leave a link to what they are and some groups that will help you stay on track in the description. Tip 3. Set limits before you begin. Before you begin reading, it's good to develop a game plan for how long you're going to read for. I like to follow this principle. If you're a beginner, I highly recommend you base your reading on time. Give yourself a limit of either 15, 30 minutes, or an hour. Be sure to increase as you see fit. For you, it doesn't matter how much you can read, what matters is how consistently you read for. If you are a high beginner or an intermediate learner, I recommend aiming for a reading goal. I recommend you set a number of pages a day and increase this number the more you advance. At this point in your learning, your goal is to spend as much time with the language as possible, so it's good to keep yourself working through as many pages you feel you can comfortably get through. Anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys found my tips and tricks helpful. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know on Twitter or in the comment section of this video. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your contribution assists not only me, but the language learning community. The more people who watch, like, and subscribe help this video get more popular so that more beginners can have access to this style of content. Once again, I appreciate your support, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.